tells me everything, isn't it, Mum?
Do you love me because I'm beautiful, or am I beautiful because you love me?
All the best to eat you with. Who's been sleeping in my bed?
Can we all live happily ever
After. Stories that tell a tale. Stories, they never fail. To excite and entice and make life nice. So let's roll and roll and roll the dice.
Ladies and gentlemen, Princess and the Frog!
A frog come up out of the water and said, "Why are you crying?"
The frog said, I don't need your pearls and your jewels and your fancy clothes, but if you love me and I'll let me stay in your house, I'll bring back your ball again.
The prince said, "Well, if you bring me back my ball, I would do all you ask."
The little frog dived into the cold water to bring back the ball again.
The next day, the prince was with her father, the king, when all of a sudden they heard a
Open the door, my princess dear. Open the door, my jewels dear.
He knocked on the door again.
Open the door, my princess dear. Open the door, my jewels dear.
The king opened the door to the little friend.
The little frog jumped onto the princess's chair.
The little frog ate food off the princess's plate and went to sleep on her bed.
The little frog repeated it for the next 3 nights.
And on the morning after the third night, the prince went to wake up the frog sleeping on her pillow. As she opened the door, there was like an answer prince.
The little frog said he was under the spell of a wicked fairy.
And that was that. The next day, the prince and the princess were married.
And they all lived happily ever after.
Stories that tell a tale. Stories, they never fail. To very sad because the princess so badly. His parents was disappointed and turned her out alive. It was a princess who stood outside. She was in a terrible state from the rain and the storm. Her hair was streaked out of the coat, out of the heel. She said, "I am a real princess."
We'll see about that,
said the old queen. She got ready for bed and went to the bedroom. Then she went in mattresses and piled them on top of the pig. And then went in feather bed on top of the mattresses. This was where the princess was to sleep that night. In the morning he asked,
how did you sleep?
said the old king and queen.
Terribly bad.
Said the princess. I hardly closed my eyes a whole night. Heaven knows I was in the bed. I seemed to be lying on some hard thing. Heaven knows I was in the bed. My skin is black and blue. They say that she must be a real princess. Nobody but princess had such a delicate skin. So the prince took her to be his wife. And they lived happily ever after.
Number 62. Cinderella.
Cinderella, a kind and thoughtful girl, lives with her cruel stepsisters and her wicked stepmom. They make her clean the house, cook her meals, and sleep by the fire in the cinders, which why they call her Cinderella.
One day while Cinderella worked, and her sisters teased her, a beggar come to the door, asking for food. The stepsisters turned him away in disgust, but Cinderella offered him something to eat and drink.
Cinderella kind of good fortune in return for her kind, and soon an invitation arrived. The lonely prince is throwing a ball in order to find a wife.
The excited stepsisters took the invitation, preparing for the ball, and left Cinderella alone at home to continue her work, laughing when she asked to come along.
The tired and sad Cinderella fell asleep.
dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep, and dreams you lose your heartache. Whatever you wish for, you keep. Have faith in your dreams and someday, and your rainbow can smile it through. No matter how your heart is keeping, if you keep on believing, a dream that you wish will come true.
Soon the fairy godmother arrived and transformed the sleeping Cinderella into a beautiful princess.
The fairy godmother gave her the magic slipper to Cinderella, which will make her unrecognisable, but warned her to be gone by midnight or the spell would be broken.
When Cinderella arrived at the ball, the prince fell in love with her instantly. And they danced together.
Soon the clock struck midnight. And Cinderella remembered she must leave as she rushed out. One of her sisters fell off. The prince decided to find her by searching for the owner of the ship.
And up yours, everybody.
Soon the prince arrived in order to find the owner of the ship.
Inside it was theirs, but of course it didn't fit. Cinderella tried it on. And it fits her perfectly, revealing his true identity, revealing his love for her. They agreed to get married.
And they all lived happily ever after.
Once again, please, for the Twisted Tales
From Community Club. I've lost my green line now because there's loads of green feathers on the floor. Absolutely stunning. Don't forget, 3 days. 3 days we've had to work on this to create something like that. It's a wonderful piece of theatre. It's incredible. These Twisted Tales, what are the roots of them? We loved them, didn't we, as kids? Remember the stories on the carpet? Remember, Miss used to hold the book like that and move it from side to side. Do you remember? And you'd race over and you were scared and you were frightened. And she'd read your Roald Dahl. And she'd stop at the exciting bits. I called a man once. Ma'am, oh me miss. I was sat on the carpet with my arms folded and legs crossed and fingers on lips. In that special place she would eclipse. She'd read me poems, tell me tales and sing me songs, and like a fish to its source, I'd be drawn in. I loved the way she'd hold the book so that you could see the pictures, and the way she'd move it from side to side so that even the naughty kids at the back could see. Told me I was allowed to dream. She got us to act out plays. I remember doing Finnegan's Wake. She taught me about Shakespeare, Shaw, Joyce and Yeats. I was 8. But in that room her voice was sweet music, echoing prayer and hymn and story and song. She was a living angel. But you'd know if you'd done wrong. And she took us on school trips to castles with moats, across oceans with boats, and we'd float, without ever actually leaving the room. Love the way she made the most simple act of reading the class register sound like the most beautifully sung tune. Simply by the way she'd validate kids' names by saying Catherine, David, Joseph, James. Sometimes she'd get us to close our eyes, imagine worlds beyond these skies, and she told me once, Michael, it's all right to cry. And her eyes, well, her eyes were seaside blue sunshine, but in that rainy 1970s black and white moss side where my messed up mind would disappear the very second she walked into the room, she made my insignificant life signify. And she taught me that the more I read, the more I see. And the more I see, the more I know. And the more I know, the more I grow. And the more I grow, the more I am. And I'd give the world and all my living riches just to hold that woman's hand one more time and say thanks. 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 When life becomes a twisted tale, I'm frightened. I see new leaders with strange hairstyles attempting to take over. The only thing that can save us are the trumps and poets. I introduce to you the trumps and poets. Let's go for it, Ellen. I saw him and he scared me. Do you know what he looked like? Well, his hair was static fluffing in an electric storm, and his eyes were soulless like windows in purgatory, and his cheeks were epileptic fits in a gold-plated bathroom, and his teeth were fingers after a lifetime of smoking.
And his feet was ducks in a fire-filled wheelie bins.
And his headaches were Jake cracking his knuckles, and his nostrils were
two planets.
Were planets at sunset. And his thumbs were rotten worms sliding through carpet. And his thumbs were rotten worms sliding through carpet.
And his neck was a lonely, dislocated kneecap. And his legs were twigs from witches' brooms.
And his teeth were fingers after a lifetime of smoking. And everything he touched turned to heartbeat. And his lips were shutters hiding chemical toilets.
And his blood was a sewage plant in South Carolina, and his bite was a mongrel abandoned on Langworthy.
And his arms were the necks of flamingos. And his thoughts were black radioactive urine. And his life was a bank emotionally bankrupt.
And his smile was a frown like bleeding rainfall, and his breath was an acid bath spilled down your lug holes, and his voice was as sharp as a dart in your eyeball, and his laugh was a hyena waiting to be slaughtered. This is what he looked like. I said, this is what he looked like. And his shadow was a cloud hanging over Salford, and his dog was dead and eaten by neighbours, and his shoulders were blades for shaving gorillas, and his legs were twigs from a witch's broom. He longed for freedom, but he was tied by his own existence. She was a flower, all smelling of dandruff. He called her name, but no sound came out of her mouth. And she was all alone. We existed on our own. Didn't we, Jake? What was she like, Jake? How old?
Well, she was about 80. And it was... One minute she was there, and the next minute she was gone. And all of a sudden, this policeman turned.
And where did she live?
She lived a few drives up from me. And she didn't live in my drive. But because I have first aid.
Are you qualified?
I'm a qualified first aider, yeah. You got to be in this day and age. So, let's not go off the subject.
Who was the copper?
The copper, he okayed it, so I put on my gloves so I could, say it was okay to go in our house. And then,
Did she live near you?
No.
Where does she live?
She lives a few drives up, and she lives with a family and a husband, and I don't think they're right. They should be together. I think they should need a carer or something, or someone like that, or should be in a care home,
ahead, Jacob.
Gold and silver diamonds, shining bling, glistening like golden teeth, snarling, charming. And private planes and jets and bling, with bedrooms and wardrobes, and bathrooms with 24-carat gold sinks, and silver taps and laughs and artificial laughs. And sports cars like Porsche, Mercedes, Lamborghini, all red and shiny, whacked out windows for eyes, they hide the mind of one, what's inside. Money, 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 like gods in paper, dollars and cents, pounds and pence, euro and yen, signing cheques with diamonds encrusted golden pens. And girls, glamour girls in pageants, classy girls in wing bikinis, models smiling, Miss Universe in her underwear, does loads of charity and never ever swears. And skyscrapers that disappear into a golden sun, drenched cloudless sky. Caviar and champagne, always sunshine and never rain. 4D TV and film stars and adverts for fragrance and aftershave. Givenchy and Gucci, Prada, Armani, clothes for the lonely, superstars so far from art and beauty. Millions and billions, on trillions, emotionally bankrupt.
Come and have a look at what you could have had. We live in our world. We're caged in.
It's an autobiography. The wall, red brick, yellow brick, red brick wall, 10 foot high, feels like sandpaper rough. Barbed wire, spiky, sharp, cutting through the skin, red ribbons gushing.
He's blocked off the rest of the world, protecting the rest of the world from Salford. He thinks it's a dark, shallow place, demented psychopath trying to cage us in like animals, disclaiming people, taking our lives away.
His priorities, him, himself and no one else. His wife, his children and nobody else. It's them vs the rest of the world. His planes, his bling bling, his money and no one else.
He's just another rich slob. He thinks he's upper class. That's why we are the underdog. He's been brought up like that. His family has money, so he thinks he's a god.
Walking through Salford, town centre with clothes on your back, nothing else. A bomb site, tills, mattresses, wardrobes. Smashed windows, a 3-year-old playing on her lonesome, disheartening. A plaque screwed to the wall, graffiti, save Salford from.
You're gonna go mad. Closed in barricades in an asylum. Is this the end? Riots, fights, chaos. We can't do nothing. Go mental.
Adapt to this situation, start a new life. Dream of a better life on the outside. Digging holes under the wall. Smashing through the wall with sledgehammers.
Let us out. The people chanting. Let us out. Let us out. Let
us out.
Let us out. Get us out. Traps like Hillsborough. People chanting. People trampled. Disgusting. We shouldn't be treated like this.
We're not really the underdogs. We take care of our own, stand together. Titanic. He'd leave them behind, abandoned ship. But Jack and Rose said, they said they'll never let go, I'll never let go.
If something was burning, he wouldn't put the fire out or go in and save them.
We would. We are Salford.
That's the world he's trying to create. Trying to cage us in. Create an apocalypse. Tell him, can
Dark clouds on a croft, a small child sits alone playing in a half-broke toy. A plastic kitchen dumped in the street. Mama dead, nowhere to be seen. She's lost the will to dream. She's free. Broken bottles and smashed glass. Little boys round empty crisp bags. Gangs of lads in baseball caps. Beer cans, ice cream runs. Playing an opera without a tune.
just one corner give it to me. No ball games.
And we've never won a cup in over 50 years.
No ball games.
Needles in the alleyways, spliff dims, without ashtrays.
No ball games!
But St George flies high the size of a sheep, the size of a football field, blowing in the wind.
Nicking all our jobs.
Roses behind railings. Dandelions and weeds grow through cracks in flags and twisted tarmacs, all with pavement, smashed windows in houses. Black outlines and the sound of sirens, no such thing as sirens, dogs barking in the distance, but nobody's listening. What happened to all those dreams?
What happened to all those dreams?
The boy who escaped. They call me the boy who escaped. Since childhood I've been kicking against the fate. They told me too much learning is bad for you. The teachers didn't care if I could spell or argue. But a school is not just a school. Seems like we're easy to stereotype. I won't wish that on my dog. We've waited a long time for something to come along. I promise to make Britain great again. I promise that we'll all be involved. Abandoned homes and broken church steeples. Heroin spreads like a bushfire. Depression tightens its grip. This is our country. Just another distraction or drug. In my garden a weeping willow grows. Standing side by side with a cherry tree. Just to give me a little bit of hope. Just to give me a little bit of hope. They call me the boy who escaped. Since childhood I've been kicking against fate.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Trumps and Poets. And thanks to Helen as well.
I'm the one who you took the jobs off.
Who are you?
I am the one you hurt.
Oh, boo-hoo, I couldn't really care less, to be honest. life is really boring.